let's talk Spurs. Had themselves a good weekend, I guess. Get off of a little losing streak, get Derek White back, and get themselves a win against the Clippers. They lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday night. Darius Garland came and got them. Suns coming into town. Carolina Teague, our embed reporter, joins us. Carolina, welcome aboard live from the bedroom. How are you doing today, Carolina? How was your weekend?
I'm doing good. It was a great weekend. Today, I'm actually pretty nervous because I am getting my COVID shot, so I'm kind of nervous about that.
Why?
What do you mean you're
nervous?
What,
You
your
should feel better.
booster or your first vaccine?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. My first time getting the vaccine, I was kind of scared.
This is you're not. Oh wow.
Go get your shot. You'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
I'm tardy to the party, but I mean, I'm
tardy.
I'm scared.
Did you say you're tardy to the party? Oh,
she is indeed, but
yeah.
Okay. One step closer. So we get the Phoenix Suns in tonight. This is a team that I think that the Spurs, if we can just stay a little bit healthy, we can get ourselves moving a little bit. But this is not the team you want to rectify things to get things going right. Let's look back to what the Spurs did against the Clippers. What did they do against the Clippers that we had not seen in a bit other than starting Derek White?
CT?
Well, I think that what worked for them was just performing well. I mean, to be honest with you, Keldon Johnson had an on game.
It was about time. He owed us one.
What do you mean it's about time? I mean, you think that he's he's underperforming this season.
I know that's your guy, but I think Keldon would be okay if I think Keldon will be. He's a big boy, literally. He hasn't played well, and it is about time. And he's supposed to be the best player on this team. He has a gold medal. He was chilling with Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard all summer. He's supposed to come out and start off. He was supposed to get off to a better start this season. And you see, when he does play well, like he did against the Clippers, they get a W.
Well, I mean, that is true. They do get a W when he does play well.
Right.
But when he's off, they don't play well. So
right.
I feel like Keldon Johnson, when he's on, they have a great game. But I don't necessarily think it was because of him they win or lose. I think the presence of Derek White makes a huge difference because this is the second time since Derek White last played that the Spurs kept their opponent to under 100 points. So I think
that's a good one.
Playing great defense, on the team was very crucial to them beating the Clippers. I mean, they did have that fourth quarter slump where they almost blew a 14-point deficit, but they still came back and they kept it alive. I mean, but this is all without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as well. So, I mean, you got to.
But hey, the Spurs aren't a team. I mean, we got to take it. Then I don't care who's playing, who's not playing. I mean, this is a team that lost to Detroit, and this is a team that lost to the Rockets. So, no matter who's playing with the Clippers or not, it's a good win because the Spurs are in that same boat. And then they were still, they're still getting guys back from COVID, which sometimes it has some lingering effects.
Yeah, and that is also detrimental to the Spurs too, because I feel like this is the first time. Well, actually, this game is going to be one of the first times the starting lineup is all together at the same time since early December before the COVID protocol happened. So now we can finally see what the starting lineup is going to be like with the San Antonio Spurs being on. And of course, it's a great, game to watch too against the Phoenix Suns, who are doing incredible.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Know yourself.
So the best news the Spurs can offer.
What's that?
Is health. We get Derek White coming off the bench last night, gets 19. We get word today or yesterday, not last night, night before. We get word that Zach Collins we're gonna see him in a basketball uniform doing basketball things.
He does exist.
That he will be in Austin. Josh has been assigned to Austin as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Why?
Because Lonnie Walker and Derek White are back.
There we go. Okay. More minutes, more development.
Were you sad to see Lonnie? Were you sad to see Primo go back to Austin?
Yes, I was, because I really enjoyed seeing a young player, getting the opportunity. I feel like, the Spurs have their system. They like to put people in the G League to build them up to be back on their permanent roster. But I personally, I'm the type of person, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I like to see people just get thrown like a fish out of water and you either sink or swim. That's the type of style that I'm accustomed to learning by.
Right.
But I think with Joshua Primo, it was really great seeing him getting mentorship from DeJounte Murray, during that the last game that they had, one of the last things they had, it went viral. He was getting against the Rockets. He was getting mentorship on the sideline. I thought that was really cool to see.
Mhm.
So him going back to the G League to me is just kind of, I don't know. It's a little bit sad for me. I don't want to see him going back there. I kind of want to see him getting a few minutes.
Who would you rather see,
but-
Lonnie or Josh? I mean, it's going to be one or the other. Obviously, Pop is making the decision. But who would you rather see on the court getting those minutes? Because the other, if it's not Lonnie, Lonnie's gone. You realize that?
Yeah, I do. But I feel like
Good point,
Lonnie
Rob.
right now, I feel like Lonnie right now, he's already past that development stage. To be honest with you, this is the type of player who Lonnie is. I mean, I think you guys, one of y'all probably disagrees with me that Lonnie still probably has some juice in him to see what he could fully be capable of. But I think Lonnie is past that development stage, and he's probably about a year or so to say this is the type of player that he is. And I'd rather see Josh Primo get the minutes.
Lonnie to me, reminds me of Jonathan Simmons. Explosive, not scared, aggressive, but it also, to me, the way this is playing out, to me, it feels like the Spurs are kind of like, well, because we have Lonnie in the tucked away. Because we have Primo tucked away, Lonnie will become expendable. To me, it feels like the Spurs are treating him like he's expendable, like this is probably his last season.
Well,
and if that's the case, then just give Primo the minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where I was going with this. You have to decide the problem, and I think we kind of hit it on the head. There's a lot of guys in the NBA that can do what Lonnie does.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an NBA player, and he's
for
not
sure.
he will stay in the league. But if it comes to money, if I can find somebody who does what you do for half the price, that's where I'm going to go. And Lonnie, I don't think has separated himself, or maybe he has, but I don't think that it's going to be one or the other with these two. I really do believe that one will be and one will be gone here in 2 years. Now, which one that'll be, it looks like Lonnie will be gone.
Fair.
Now, the Suns come into town in giving us an interesting situation to break another streak. Let's talk about the Suns.
Know your enemy.
Now, the Suns are dealing with a couple of injuries. DeAndre Ayton left their last game with Detroit with a rolled ankle.
Okay.
This comes on the heels of Jock Landale having a pretty decent game the other night. So size, while they offer it when DeAndre Ayton is there, we'll see if he is available to play tonight. That does help the Spurs front line. But really, when it comes down to playing the Suns,
JaVale McGee, he's a handful too.
It is about the bounce on the front and the wings. It's Devin Booker with the shooting. It's Chris Paul with the fadeaway and the paint, and it is stopping those runs that Chris Paul is a master of owning late in a game.
They've won 3 in a row, and they're 7-3 in their last 10. Are you going to try and talk to our listeners into believing that the Spurs have any chance tonight, Carolina, against this Suns team?
I'm not. And the reason why.
Look at Carl. Carl's flabbergasted.
I'm not. I mean, because I know you guys sometimes like to insinuate that I'm a homer, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. You kind of do.
You're a homer.
You kind of try to insinuate sometimes that I am a homer, and I'm not one.
It's okay. It's okay to be a homer.
I'm just not Team Tank. I'm not Team Tank.
I understand.
I'm not Team Tank. But I'm not a homer as well. I'm not going to try to convince you guys that the Spurs have a possibility that they could win. Okay, maybe there's a small possibility.
Of course, they've beaten some good teams. They've beaten some
good teams,
right?
And they lose against bad teams like the Rockets.
I want to have a quick discussion before we talk about the Suns and the injuries we're dealing with, and it's the DeJounte Murray conundrum that we're running into.
Yeah, that is a good question for Carolina. Yeah,
issue.
Okay,
DeJounte is putting up all-star numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You triple doubles with 30. The numbers he put up the other night,
right?
With no turnover in that 30-point triple double.
That's NBA legend stuff. That's send your shoes to Springfield kind of stuff. I mean, we hadn't seen that before. But as good as he has been playing, is he vampiring? Is he sucking away the energy from other guys? Because the better he plays, the worse the other four seem to play. Does that make any sense?
I don't think he's an energy vampire, Rob. I feel like that's very, I don't know, that's kind of a grim statement.
Look at the numbers.
I feel like he breathes life into the Spurs. He kind of resuscitates them because without him, they were losing every single game. Well, actually, they're 1-4. But
1-4, right?
1-4 without DeJounte Murray. He comes back, they win, then they lose the rest because then the COVID situation happens. Everybody falls like dominoes right after that. And then now we're finally going to be able to see everybody play together. I don't think DeJounte Murray is an energy vampire. I think he resuscitates it. Like, kind of when you're in the hospital and you're about to die and they say clear and they, pump life into you. That's what DeJounte Murray does to the San Antonio Spurs. I feel like he brings life. And also, like, Derek White, I just can't, like, okay, hold up. Before I go on about Derek White, DeJounte Murray, it not only resuscitates the team, he resuscitates the crowd too, because they're chanting MVP.
Which
But
is
they're
insane.
losing. We are losing when he does that. I mean, yeah, he looks good.
He can't carry the whole.
No, he has to.
Michael Jordan
He has no choice but to play that way.
See, that's where I'm trying to go.
He has no
here.
choice.
But you got to be very careful that you don't fall into that Russell Westbrook syndrome of, yeah, he's fun to watch, but we lose every night.
Yeah, well, they need somebody else who's just, they need more star power.
And when we saw Derek come off the bench and suck away some of those points and a couple of those assists, and we don't quite have those DeJounte Murray numbers, suddenly things got a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's not more so a DeJounte Murray issue. I think it's the rest of the team issue. The rest of the team is Keldon Johnson was supposed to be the superstar. Where is he at?
Was supposed. That's what I'm saying. Great point.
So if it's I don't blame DeJounte, I blame the entire team as a whole.
39 games.
I'm not giving them hope against the Suns. I'm not giving them hope. I don't think they're going to take them. I don't think they're going to win. Devin Booker and Chris Paul, they're too much to handle. See, you look at that team, there's two big superstars. You got Chris Paul and you got Devin Booker. So even when you lose somebody like DeAndre Ayton, you still have JaVale McGee to take his place. That still is not a big loss. Like now, if Chris Paul were to be out or Devin Booker were to be out,
that'll be different.
then there's
for sure.
a stronger hope. But there's two superstars on the Suns. For the San Antonio Spurs, it's just DeJounte Murray. He's a one-man band. And no offense to everybody else. I mean, they tried their best every single game. But the numbers don't lie. It's DeJounte Murray seems to be consistent every single night. And everybody else just, comes in when they can and gets out when they can.
Okay.
Let's get into the training room.
Is there anybody in there? Ayton?
Inside the training room.
Well, Ayton is still officially projected as a starter, though he did not play in the second half. We do expect to see Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton, their usual five. Ayton did roll an ankle. Spurs expected to bring back their usual 4 plus Keita Bates-Diop, excuse me.
Yeah,
DeJounte, Derek, Doug, who's back, Keita Bates-Diop, and Jakob Poeltl. Size has been an issue there with the Spurs. Landale is a very skilled player. I'll give him some credit, but vertically he is challenged.
So
when we look at what we're going to face tonight, if DeAndre Ayton does start, athletic bigs hurt us. And JaVale McGee and Ayton, this is not a good matchup for Jakob Poeltl. Bless him. I know he fights hard and he's a good defender, but when the athletes give him trouble, they always have. So Jakob in the front line are going to have to play really well tonight. The high pick and roll is going to be in play. Chris Paul's a master of that. Going to have to protect the paint. And if they do that, they're going to have to hope either Bridges or Booker's cold. And if they can manage to slow them down, I do think the Spurs have the manpower to play the Suns. I think that we match up pretty well, except for down low.
Great.
But on the edges, we play quite well.
I agree with that. And as far as the DeAndre Ayton, he's projected to start, but the last game that they played, it was the last 4 minutes of the game where he was complaining about his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if he really will play or not. It seems like he's day-to-day in regards to that. But even if they replace him with JaVale McGee, the front court for the Phoenix Suns, I feel like is more talented than the San Antonio Spurs front
Absolutely.
court. Now, like you said, like God bless his heart, Jakob Poeltl, he plays his heart out, but he's going to definitely have a tough time.
Are they going to get the wins for Pop? 39 games.
If 39 games and get
more.
10, yes. The record gets broken. They're going to win 10 more games. I believe that.
By the numbers, they're coming down to the last week. If we go by the current trends, it's going to be they're winning 1 and 3.
If they got any pride. If they got any pride.
Well, hopefully they don't get hit with COVID like they have.
That's the fear.
And we didn't mention Trey Jones, who's still in health and safety protocol, so hopefully he's okay and
he's
feeling
still
better.
In there?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you have to get negative tests, right?
And you asymptomatic and all the above, stuff like that.
You think the Spurs get their tests back quicker than us?
You
think they're finding out a week and a half later like we are?
Dude,
yes.
The week and a half, I got a test from January 3rd that I haven't gotten back.
You're not getting that back.
And not only that, you have to. It takes right now everything's so busy in the city. It takes about a week or 2 weeks to even book your test to begin with. So not only do the results come back late, it takes forever to get tested anyways. So sometimes people don't even know they have COVID. They just have to stay at home because they feel like they got it.
So if I'm the Spurs, I'm using those tests.
Yeah,
we're gonna test. We're no better than the
side of the
man.
road test that I use.
We're putting all of our players in a van. We're gonna go drive through down at West over on Crossroads.
The CDC told me to sit down for 5 days. I sat down for 8, and I came outside. Deal with me.
I think the Spurs. I mean, I want to sneak through the back door and get whatever test they get. I want to get what
Carolina. Go get your vax.
Go get your vax. You're gonna get a lollipop and a
yet.
sticker. Go do it right. She is Carolina Teague. She'll be at the game tonight. The Suns are in town. She is our insider. Thanks for stopping by, Carolina.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You drank from Kirby water fountains. Ain't no vaccine hurt
don't
you.
need none of that.
All that means is that I have a strong.
Exactly. You be all right. That's a Kirby water fountain. You be all right.
Bye.
Later.
The one who has had it.